Hello, my name is Dana Szabados. I have been an English and French into Romanian freelance translator for 25 years, and I live in Romania. Now I'm making a big step from the archaeology in the previous two speaks to the present days emojis. My short presentation is about emojis that fills a gap and replace words in our social media communication. Emojis are most often used in social media in quick, short messages where they connect with the reader and add flavor, color, and emotion. In social media, emojis make up for the lack of gestures, facial expressions, and intonation that are found in speech. They also remove ambiguity from messages, allowing the writer to convey many different possible concepts at the same time. Some linguists classified emojis as discourse markers, words or phrases that play a role in managing the flow and the structure of a discourse. They're all over the place, and you really can't interact with any device or platform these days without someone sending you an emoji or you sending one out yourself. We use emojis every day. It's faster to express feelings and emotions with them. Originally, meaning pictograph, the word emoji comes from the Japanese E, picture, mo, writing, and G, character, and the resemblance to the English words emotion and emoticon is purely coincidental. Emojis are real images and symbols that are rendered on our devices, while emoticons are expressions and faces created with basic characters from our keyboard. The Japanese engineer and interface designer Shigetaka Kurita, in 1999, working for the Japanese phone company NTT Docomo, wanted to create a simple way for the users to convey information on the mobile platform he worked on. You can see here the original Docomo emojis, which were acquired by the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. The Unicode Standard is a character coding system designed to support the worldwide interchange, processing, and display of the written text of the diverse languages and technical disciplines of the modern world. In addition, it supports classical and historical texts of many written languages. The Unicode Consortium is a non-profit group that works to maintain tech standards across computers. Multiple tech companies petitioned Unicode to recognize the emoji and ensure they were recognizable across all devices. Unicode accepted this in 2010 and is now in charge of the lengthy submission and approval process for the creation of new emoji. The first translated book from English into emoji was Emoji Dick, the emoji version of Moby Dick. Fred Benenson had the idea to translate the book using emojis. In the 6,438 sentences in Moby Dick were translated 3 times by 3 different Amazon Mechanical Turk workers. The results were voted by another set of workers, and the most popular version of each sentence was selected for inclusion in the book. 800 people spent about 1,050 hours to crowd-translate the book from English to emojis. The US Library of Congress added a copy to its collection. In 2015, Oxford Dictionaries chose an emoji as its words of the year for the first time, Face with Tears of Joy, that best represented the ethos, mood, and preoccupations of 2015. In 2015, the racial diversity was reflected by the new set of 5 skin tone modifiers. Also, options for new family emojis include any variety of 2 adults, men, women, or mixed, with 1 or 2 children. The options available increased as before. There were only families formed by a woman and a man and a boy child. The number of flags increased because originally there were only 10 flags available. Jeremy Burge, the founder of Emojipedia, created the holiday of World Emoji Day in 2014, and it has been celebrated since 2017. Maybe you ask yourself why in the emoji list in your phone, the date on the calendar is the 17th of July, but it changes to the current date when you want to use the calendar emoji. And now you know why. That is the World Emoji Day. More causes were added in 2016. Gender diversity and a person with a scarf on the head were introduced as a move to make emoji more inclusive and representative for the society. In 2018, there were some descriptive explanations by the dictionary.com that included the description explanations for emojis, providing information on how certain emojis are used. These are the top 10 most used emojis in 2020. More causes were added in 2019 that included the non-binary emojis and emojis depicting people with disabilities. On February 8, 2020, emojis made their debut in the New York Times crossword puzzle with a puzzle that was movie-themed, the Emoji Movie, movies clued via emojis. The solvers considered it an easy one, taking them less than 10 minutes to solve. You can see at the left how the depictions were to describe the titles of the movies. In response to the pandemic, Emojipedia launched sequences of emojis that can be used related to the hygiene and social distancing measures. Later on, the vaccination emoji was launched. So the syringe emoji was updated by removing the blood, so then serving as a vaccination emoji. Communication using emojis has little internal structure, even if the emojis are rearranged in the string. So they convey the same message. A study by researchers in the Netherlands showed that emojis are more likely to replace nouns and adjectives, and less likely to replace verbs and adverbs, while no prepositions and articles are replaced. Experiments show emojis do not have a fixed syntax as languages do. About half of the people asked to describe the first photo using emojis would use the former sequence, while the rest would use the latter, so the distribution is somehow even. As for the second photo, about half of the people who described it used the former emojis structure, while about half of them would use the latter. The layout and the physical arrangement of the items in the photo playing a role in deciding on the sequence of emojis. Considering the place they already gained in our communication, emojis are here to stay and evolve together with technology. Unicode anticipates the addition of about 70 new emojis every year. Emojis allow barrier-free communication irrespective of the language of the people who are part of the communication. Many complain they are not real conversation, making no use of words, grammar, and sentences. Nonetheless, we have to take into account the amount of communication done via emojis in a world where fast communication is key, adding gestures, facial expressions, and tone of voice. The vocabulary and the types of sequences are limited, grammar lacks, still allowing the means of communication described mainly by simplicity and practicality. An emerging language in itself, they supplement or enhance the writing, giving the necessary tone of voice to succinct written messages in social media or personal communication. My presentation was extremely short, so now it's time to say goodbye.
Can I just ask one question?
Yes?
What's a non-binary emoji?
A non-binary emoji is depicts a person that doesn't express themselves as being part of one of the two genders.
Oh, so it's an emoji where you can't tell if it's a boy or a girl?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Exactly. It's a middle one. If you check in the menu of the phone, it's a middle one. You cannot say exactly if it's a woman or a man. It has the both characteristics, but it's up to the person to decide their gender. You can check it in the phone. It's in the phone. I mean, the phone that we use every day still has secrets.
Okay, thank you. That was very interesting. I learned a few things.
Where do we get a copy of Emoji?
Oh yes, one question. Where can we get a copy of Emoji?
It's sold on the internet, but the color copy is $200.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Yeah.
a bit prohibitive, let's say.
Yeah.
It's a PDF.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.